Hello students, today we are going to start with the fifth lesson of History Standard 8 entitled as Social and Religious Reforms. But before we proceed, I just want you to make you to subscribe to my channel to get the all information of the lessons. Okay, so subscribe to the L page deck. Now let us begin. Along with the spread of English education, there was the spread of new thoughts, new ideas, new philosophy. So we know that as British has introduced their English education system to the India. So along with that education system, they introduced new thoughts, new ideas, new philosophies, and Indians were attracted towards it. Indians were also introduced to the Western thoughts and culture. Due to it, there were changes in social, religious, economic, and cultural aspects of Indian society. So, education brought the great change in the aspects of social, religious, economic, and cultural aspects of the Indian society. The modern educated Indians became aware that the backwardness of India was due to the superstitions, casteism, old customs, class system, and lack of critical outlook. So India was bound in the such things like the superstitions were prevalent, even casteism was prevalent, old customs, people were following the old customs and class systems. So that was our polluted outlook, point of view, that was polluted one. It was necessary to eradicate the flaws and undesirable tendency for the progress of the country. So if we want to progress our country, we need to remove such things and to create a new society based on the principles of humanity, equality, and fraternity. So these three principles that on which we need to build our society. First, humanity, behave humanly with human beings, need equality with all, and the fraternity, that is brotherhood. So these three things were dominant and that was required for Indians. The educated thinkers started social awareness through writing to solve the various problems in the society. The intellectual awakening in the contemporary society is called Indian Renaissance. So, this is the important line. The intellectual awakening in the contemporary society is called Indian Renaissance. So, let us see how the Renaissance happened. Era of religious and social reforms. Number 1, Brahmo Samaj. In 1828, Raja Ram Mohan Roy established the Brahmo Samaj in Bengal. So, from the objective point of view, it is very much important that who has established what and where. So, underline those things. 1828, the Raja Ram Mohan Roy established the Brahmo Samaj in Bengal. He had studied many languages and religions. That he was a great scholar person. Through his ideology of Advait philosophy that was developed. Monotheism, caste and class equality, protest against rituals and following the way of prayers were the principles of Brahmo Samaj. So this is also important point. Monotheism, that is worshipping only one god, that is monotheism. Caste and class equality, he wants all people to be equal, of all caste, whether at all the class and caste, but they must be equal. Protest against rituals, so those are the old rituals and outdated, so he was protesting against it. Following the way of prayers were the principles of the Brahmo Samaj. He opposed sati practice, child marriage, parda system. One more thing, that is sati system. If you are aware that if husband dies, the wife also dies on the taking jump on the burning pyre of the fire. That is, she also goes after him lively. So that is called as a sati practice. Even child marriage, parda system, that was dominated Muslim. So that was he tried to remove. He promoted widow remarriage and female education. He founded Hindu College in Calcutta. Hindu College in Calcutta. So he created the public awareness through the newspaper Samvad Kaumudi. That was his newspaper. Need to keep in mind Samvad Kaumudi. That was ran by him, in which he used to awake the people by writing. So that is the Samvad Kaumudi. Important it is. Next we have a Prarthana Samaj. So just have a look at the newspaper called Samvad Kaumudi, that is ran by Raja Ram Mohan Roy. He used to write the social and religious reform things in this newspaper. Now Prarthana Samaj, Dadava Pandurang Tarkhadkar. See the name? Dadava Pandurang Tarkhadkar established Paramahamsa Sabha in Mumbai in 1848. So this is important. That was a Paramahamsa Sabha established in Mumbai 1848 year. Later Paramahamsa Sabha was dissolved and some of its members founded the Prarthana Samaj. Later it was cancelled and some members of it they founded the Prarthana Samaj. Dadoba's brother Dr. Atmaram Pandurang was the first president of Prarthana Samaj. So this is very most important. If you ask the question that who is the first president of the Prarthana Samaj, you can give the answer Atmaram Pandurang, who was the first president of the Prarthana Samaj. The prestige of the institution increased due to the enrollment of young graduates from the Mumbai University. So many young graduates became the member of it. Justice Ranade. Now keep in mind who are the followers. Okay, if you are asked the person who are the person supported the Prarthana Samaj or the followers of the Prarthana Samaj, you can write those names. Justice Ranade, R.G. Bhandarkar. They carried forward the work of Prarthana Samaj. The opposition to idol worship, monotheism, opposition to rituals were the principles of Prarthana Samaj. So in Brahmo Samaj there was one god worshipping, but here every Samaj has different ideologies. Here the opposition of idol worship. They were against of idol worship. Don't worship any idol. Monotheism, that is also same. Opposition to rituals, that is also same. Brahmo Samaj and Prarthana Samaj. The very same thing we can find here. Oppositions of the rituals were the principles of the Prarthana Samaj. They stressed on devotion and prayers. For reforming the society, Prarthana Samaj started orphanage, women's education institutes, night school for workers, and society for Dalits. So this is a really important thing. As they were caring up the society, so they started the orphanage. Orphanage, that the small child who lost their father or who does not have parents, those are called orphan. So those childs bring up their orphanage. Women's education institutes, he deliberately gives stress on the education of women. Even night school for workers, those are workers unable to work, unable to learn in a day due to the work. So at night they used to learn in the night school and society for the Dalits. Even Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde, he was also the follower of Prarthana Samaj. Shinde, he member of Prarthana Samaj, he established a depressed classes mission. This is also important point. That who established depressed classes mission? That is Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde. Through the mission, an attempt was made to solve the social problems. So Prarthana Samaj was also an active institution, we can say organization, that was working for the social reforms in India. Now next we have Satyashodhak Samaj. Number 3 Samaj. Mahatma Jyotirao Phule started the Satyashodhak Samaj. Who is the founder? Mahatma Jyotirao Phule. In 1873. So all the Samaj who have started, the people need to keep in mind those people with year and where. Okay, and where they started. Mahatma Phule started the Satyashodhak Samaj in 1873. Satyashodhak Samaj worked on the principles of formation of society on the basis of equality. So what are the principles? Let us see. Equality. The protest against untouchability. That is, a person belong to the low caste was considered as untouchable. Okay, not to touch the people. That is untouchability. So they protest against such a casteism. And giving inferior outlook towards the people and calling them untouchable. They advocated the education among the depressed classes. Depressed, that is people belong to the low caste. That is depressed classes. Okay. And women. Depressed classes and women. Mahatma Phule reformed the society through the medium of books like Brahmanache Kasab, Gulamgiri. So he wrote some books, and through many books he was made criticism on the society, and through many books he just wanted to aware the people of the reality and to get rid of the old customs, traditions, and this low caste system. This is what he stressed. So here are the books written by Mahatma Jyotiba Phule: सार्वजनिक सत्यधर्म, गुलामगिरी, शेतकऱ्यांचा असूड, स्त्री पुरुष तुलना, शेतकऱ्यांचा असूड, मॉडर्न इंडियन फिलॉसॉफर, गुलामगिरी, अस्पृश्यांची कैफियत, शेतकऱ्यांचा असूड आणि इशारा, so these all are very renowned books. He severely criticized the traditions and customs that made discrimination between man and woman, or rather human being himself. Next we have Arya Samaj. Arya Samaj was founded by Swami Dayananda Saraswati in 1875. So this is also important. Who has founded the Arya Samaj? Swami Dayananda Saraswati in 1875. He wrote the book Satyarth Prakash as a commentary on Vedas. So the book is written by him is called Satyarth Prakash. The ancient Vedic religion is true religion which has no place for casteism. He asserted that there should be a gender equality. So again he gave the emphasis of gender equality, and go back to Vedas was the slogan of Arya Samaj. Keep in mind, go back to Veda. Okay, return to Vedas or go back to Vedas. That is, follow the Ved or the Vedas which are written by old ancient Rishimunis. So follow that. So that was his slogan. The branches of Arya Samaj were open all over India. Many education institutions were established through the medium of Arya Samaj. So he also done the work of establishing many schools and spreading the educations among the all classes. So that is his unique contribution, Arya Samaj. And the Satyarth Prakash, he wrote the book Satyarth Prakash, and go back to the Veda, that was his slogan of Arya Samaj. These three things are important here. Ramakrishna Mission. Next, Ramakrishna Mission was established by Swami Vivekananda, a very close disciple of Ramakrishna Paramhans. Okay, the student of Ramakrishna Paramhans is called the Swami Vivekananda. He was the close student, and he established Ramakrishna Mission in 1897. Ramakrishna Mission worked for the service to the society. The mission worked for providing help to the famine-stricken people, patients, medical help to the poor, female education, and spiritual growth. So these are the important things. It worked for the providing help to the famine stricken, that is where we have a drought stricken area. So mainly working for the basically society. Medical help also given to the poor people, even education and spiritual growth. Swami Vivekananda was an excellent orator. He attended the Parliament of Religions at Chicago in 1893 as a representative of Hinduism. So 1893 religious. So he attended the Parliament of Religion at Chicago in 1893 and became as a representative of Hinduism, and where he had addressed to the all people who were present over there by beginning his speech by calling my dear brothers and sisters, which received a huge round of applause. If you remember, huge round of applause. All the people stood to give the standing ovation to the very words which he has used for the sake of humanity and brotherhood. So that was a world famous incident. Arise, awake, and not to stop till the goal is achieved, was the message given to him to the Indian youth, and it's very, very much famous and still it's applicable to all. Arise, awake, and not to stop till the goal is achieved. So, this is the message given by the Swami Vivekananda to the youth of India: arise, awake, and stop not until the goal is reached. Social reforms among the Sikh people. The Singh Sabha was established at Amritsar in Punjab to achieve the reforms in Sikh religion. So the Sikh people also want to reform themselves, to want to improve themselves, to make a social reform. So in the religions as well. So this Singh Sabha that was established for this purpose. This institute worked for the spread of education among the Sikh community and bring in modernization among them, for education and modernization. So these two things. Later the Akali movement continued their tradition of reformation. Emancipation of women, that is freedom of women. Now during the expansion of British rule in India, the position of women was very miserable. So that was very pitiable condition women were faced. They had no right of education, so they were deprived of education. They were not treated equally. Child marriage, dowry system, sati, kesh weapon, that is cutting of hair, opposition to the widow remarriage, such customs prevailed in the society. Widow remarriage was not possible, even kesh weapon was done. Women were going for a sati, even dowry system, that is taking a bribe or taking a huge amount of money in the marriage from the woman, that was dominant. So women were actually suppressed under such conditions and traditions. So Lord William Bentinck took help of social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy to pass Sati Prohibition Act. But so this is Lord William Bentinck. He was really touched by such things and he decided to remove such things. So with the help of Raja Ram Mohan Roy, he passed Sati Prohibition Act. Gopal Hari Deshmukh, popularly known as Lok Hitwadi. Lok Hitwadi, the person who thinks about the betterment of the people, that is Lok Hitwadi. He was popularly known as Lok Hitwadi. He advocated the gender equality through his writing Shatapatre. So he also pressurized the need of the social equality in his writing called Shatapatre. So Shatapatre is like writing a book actually. He was writing a letters, in series of letters he was just writing, and the things which are really needful for the reformation of society he used to write in Shatapatre. So therefore it belongs to him. In 1848, Mahatma Phule started the first school for girls at Bhedewada in Pune. So you can see the very picture of this Tatya Bhed's Wada in Budwarpet, Pune, the first school for girls that is started here. His wife Savitribai Phule supported him. Savitribai Phule had to face great criticism from the society, but she continued to work in education. Mahatma Phule established the Bal Hatya Pratibandhak Graha in his own house. That is Bal Hatya Pratibandhak Graha. The meaning itself gives us the meaning. The house where the Bal Hatya is prohibited. Okay. He conducted a strike of barbers against the custom of shaving the heads of the widows. So he collected all the barbers and he told them not to shave the heads of the widow women. So he was against of that system, Keshuvapan. So therefore he made a strike of all the barbers. For getting permission to widow remarriage, Pandit Ishwarchand Vidyasagar, Vishnu Shastri Pandit, and Veerashalingam Pantalu, he also took up the special efforts. In his newspaper Sudharak, Gopal Ganesh Agarkar gave his staunch opinion about child marriage, law of consent. So this is a picture of Gopal Ganesh Agarkar in his newspaper called Sudharak. He gave his staunch opinion about the child marriage, law of consent. Even Maharshi Vittal Ramji Shinde organized a conference against the practice of Devdasis. Even in the book called Stri Purush Tulna, written by Tarabai Shinde, she very fiercely, that is aggressively, put up her views about the women's right. So she was trying her level very best for the equality of human rights. Maharshi Dandakesha Karve also started the Anath Balika Ashram, an orphanage for girls. Maharshi Vitthal Karve, now his intention was to give education to all women and make them stand on their own feet. So he has established his own school and the universities for the women only, just to make them self-reliant. Now, through his efforts, the first women's university was set up in 20th century. So he is the first person in India who established the women's university separately for women's only in 20th century. Now Pandit Ramabai founded the Sharda Sadan and took up the responsibility of taking care of disabled children and women. So that is another point. But here let us continue with the Maharshi Karve SNDT University that he has established. Srimati Nathabai Damodar Thakursi Women's University. So that is the SNDT University, keep in mind. For the women only. So here the Pandita Ramabai, she founded the Sharda Sadan and took up the responsibility of taking care of disabled children and women, those who are disabled or physically handicapped children and women. So he started taking care of those in the house called Sharda Sadan, built by Pandita Ramabai. This is the Sharda Sadan in Pune. Now similarly, Ramabai Ranade, through the medium of Seva Sadan Institute, started the nursing course for women. So here Ramabai Ranade started Seva Sadan, and through it she started the nursing course for the women. She demanded the right to vote for women. So she is the first woman who felt the need of right to vote, that women also have a right to give her vote for the election purpose. Through the articles, Dr. Ambedkar spoke about the injustice towards women. Dr. Ambedkar spoke about the injustice towards women. Mahatma Gandhi also advocated education of women. Women have given valuable contribution during the freedom movement. Women's reform movement helped in closing down many unjust practices in the society. The voice for problems against the women broke out. Women started putting up their own thoughts through their writing. Their performance in every sectors of life flourished due to the education. Now here is one corner for you, just think about it. If the social reformers had not started the education of women, what would have started? Or what would have happened? Can you guess? If they had not started the education, then women could not get the education. If they could not get education, then there would not be any social reforms, and religious reforms could have happened. They kept on suffering for ages and ages. Their plight will be so much miserable. So those things could have happened. Second, at present, What kind of transformation is seen in life of women due to the education? Now we can see due to the education. Now here, due to the education, women are becoming self-reliant. Okay, they are gaining confidence. They are walking with hands in hands with the males. They are aggressive and even they are ahead in every field. In every field. So that is the change we can see among them. Do you think there is a need for taking further efforts regarding education of women? If yes, then what efforts needs to be taken? That is on your, it depends on your own personal response questions. You need to think over it more. If currently we keep on continuing and we also give the more efforts, further efforts regarding the education of women, so what can we do? So that is your choice. You can discuss among yourself and get the answer. Religious reforms among the Muslims. Now, he is a person, Abdul Latif, started the social reforms among the Muslim community. He established the Muhammadan Literary Society in Bengal. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan founded the Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College. It later developed into the Aligarh Muslim University. So that Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College that turned into the Aligarh Muslim University, it is in UP. He advocated the Western science and technology. He firmly believed that Muslims could make progress only by studying modern education and science. So he insisted of learning of modern education and science for the Muslim community if they want to reform themselves. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan founded the Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College, later it turned into the Aligarh Muslim University, especially for Muslim people. Movement in Hindu society. In 1915, Hindu Mahasabha was established to give a respectable position to Hindu community. So there is a division of religion. First we saw the Muslim University, special built for the Muslim people, and the reformations happen in Muslim community. Here we found in Hindu Mahasabha. This is established to give respectable position to Hindu community. Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, he laid the foundation of Banaras Hindu University. So like Muslim University, Hindu University also established in Banaras, that is in UP, Uttar Pradesh. So this is the Banaras Hindu University. Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, he laid the foundation of this university. Dr. Keshav Baliram Hedgewar. In 1925, he established Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh at Nagpur. It is called as RSS in short. Its aim was to set up a disciplinary and virtuous organization of Hindu youth. So just to make them very virtuous and disciplinary, to serve the nation of India, he established a different organization called Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh by Keshav Baliram Hedgewar in 1925 at Nagpur. V.D. Savarkar built in the Patit Pawan temple at Ratnagiri. Patit Pawan temple in Ratnagiri, open to all caste and Hindu religions. Common dining programs were also arranged. Now let us look at the do you know fact. Manifestation of Renaissance in other areas. Now in other areas, that is in work of social science, social work, science, literature, what are the contributions? Let us see. Just as the reform movement, the development in various fields of literature, art, and science during the Renaissance period is also important. In the field of literature, Rabindranath Tagore, and the field of science, C.V. Raman received the Nobel Prizes. So these two Indians, renowned Indians, they also done their best and received Nobel Prize for their work. This gives us an idea of the progress in India. This progress was responsible for building up the modern India. Stories, novels gave inspiration to gain independence. They also express thoughts on social reforms. Now, during this period, women also took up writing. They took up writing. New newspapers and magazines became a source of social reforms and political awakening. Now, there was development in the field of art as well as music became more popular. Indian style and Western techniques were combined, and new school of painting came forward. Many books were written based on science. People started realizing that experimentation and scientific attitude very important for the progress of the country. So due to the progress in science, education, new thoughts, new awakening, so people also started thinking in a different way, and they felt need to give their contribution in the field, in the other field as well, and they done their well. They did their best. So many experimental way also started, and scientific attitude also changed. So people were improving themselves. They were just getting rid of the old tradition, customs, outdated one, and the superstitions, and they turning towards the scientific point of view. In the history of modern India, the moment of Renaissance is very important. On the principle of liberty, equality, and nationalism, the Indian social reformers set up nationwide political movement. The study of this movement will be in detail in the next chapter. Now, in this way, our lesson is over.